goodwill hit was definitely real. A lot of players that have been with Bannerlords since the start have shown by reviewing it as mixed, and there's been a bit of backlash, and this is kind of the first time that Bannerlord have had this amount of backlash for a release, because the actual release of Bannerlord, whilst there are criticisms, I think, for a lot of people, was fairly positive, and, well, the selling figures showed that. Many people, from what I've heard, feel like Tale Wars haven't learned from, well, the previous mistakes of rushing things out before it's actually ready. There's a lot of split within the fanbase now. A lot of people saying this is kind of normal, they'll patch it. And then a lot of people saying we've just paid for another beta, like, you know, the early access of Bannerlord in the first place. But let's look at a more positive note. What does this actually mean for long-term impact? I think actually the long-term impact isn't as big as some people might be saying. This is a DLC that has so much promise and has some real good core guts to it. The ideas are fantastic. The creativity is amazing. I love the fact that this was the direction Tale Wars decided to take Bannerlord. And yes, it's had a very rocky start, but I think the narrative will start to shift. If War Sales continues this way, patches, fixes, and Tale Wars communicating exactly what they're doing, the narrative will shift to a good recovery, especially if modders are able to integrate a lot of things into future content. Now, if they do slow down, War Sales could, you know, continue down the downhill route, and I think that will probably be the worst possible thing. But at this point in time, it's looking pretty positive. Tale Wars are handling it quite well. So if you want to go and check out War Sales, I'd still recommend it. There are definitely new fixes, and it's still way more playable than a lot of things that have come out in the last few years. But what I wouldn't do is go and expecting the most polished finished product ever. I think this is just the Tale Wars route at this point. They will release something with great ideas and great core bones, but sometimes a little content light, with a lot of rough edges that it takes them time to fix. Now, they do a lot of developer blogs and patch updates, and they do start to communicate with people a lot more now, which is really great. So I think actually if you look at War Sales like the release for Bannerlord, where Bannerlord came out in early access and they added in content and content and content, until now it's pretty much unrecognizable from the actual early access release, I think you're still going to have a positive experience. That is just the way it seems Tale Wars function. Like it or not, that is the route that they've chosen. They release games to sort of develop with the community, and it does seem to have done them quite well. It does make people angry, but I mean, the numbers are here. People haven't left. People still play this game, and it's kind of, I'm going to be honest, stronger than ever.